Awesome. Thank you, FPV, for that intro. Hey, everybody. Good evening, and once again, thanks for joining us on Cat Eyes Returns. Tonight we have the research team. They're going to be going over some updates on the map that FPV has been presenting to everybody, along with some new data. Okay. But tonight is FPV Angel, One Conscience series. Cat Eyes and myself, Flat Trotter. So, well, you guys, why don't you guys just let us know what's going on?
Mm, Let me hold on. I'm just gonna welcome the chat room like always. Thanks
Yeah.
for spending your time here to support this hangout and the panel. All mods, make sure you welcome those that come in because um, Tyler and I won't be talking. It will be the researchers. So once they're done, then I'll come back on chat. So make sure you welcome them and keep an eye on the trolls and anybody else that you think is a troll. So please welcome everybody that comes in, even welcome those that are mods as well. I appreciate it. Much love, everyone. Um, we'll just go ahead and start, and I'll give it the floor to FPV. And you guys, relax.
Yep.
Bye. I'll
Take.
be back.
Yep. Take it away, you guys.
Right, thanks Cats, thanks Trotter. Hello everyone, FPV here. Right, I'll start this off. Hold on a sec. Right, in previous videos, you've heard me discuss angels and their roles or functions. What I'm going to show you here is how I link the angels to various scriptures and mandalas. I'll just pause the video a sec. Pinpointed their locations in the underworld and tried to account for their number. The count seems to be around 266, going by main writings, plus 7 are mentioned that are unknown to the rest, which seem to be in operation in desolate places and active during sunrise and deactivate at sunset. This suggests to me they are located below 7 of our deserts and operate independently from all the rest. I haven't marked them all on this map as due to their number, we expect them to be occupying all the places in between the halos we call the tropics. So you can picture there on that image, there's 266 halos. You can account for 48 around the external of the 8x8 and 30 around the internal. That's counting the center one. And plus many more in between. We're not going to bother putting them on the map because there's that many. We do assume they're in between all these halos we call tropics. Right, and now onto the roles of said angels. It's evident that the sun and moon movement and navigation are controlled by these projected halos. It's quite possible all of our luminaries are using this network of halos for movement and could give credence to our dome being various layers of electromagnetic halos. Layer 1 being allocated to the sun and moon, and do we see evidence of this in the real world? Yes, we do. There's some videos that we showed previously of various recordings from various locations around the world showing these halos with the sun traversing around them. So what they call in sun dogs are these halos here. And these are projections from down below. If you're not understanding that part, I recommend you go and look at some of our other videos. Now, we can get into weather patterns now. Tornadoes. The rotating toroidal vortex created by the angel's halo is directly responsible for the generation of winds, tornadoes, and cyclones. Do we see evidence of this? Yes, of course we do. It is directly responsible for all wind functions. Another role that the angels that we figured out is lightning. We can now say lightning has an origin, this being the angel's halo. Add some water and it will start arcing. There's a nice demonstration there for you. So we've got an origin for lightning. Volcanoes. It seems a certain configuration of angels are responsible for volcanoes, mountains, hilly terrain, and raised landmass. Notice the mountains in the distance curving around the edge of the halo in between the angel and the halo is an induction zone. This may play a part in the eruption process. Angels are involved in particle acceleration. That kind of wording comes from CERN. The real terminology would be alchemy, the forming of elements into matter. Earth, air, fire and water being the primary materials used in the forming of matter. This will differ from region to region. Colours are allocated to north, south, east and west in various scriptures, and they seem directly linked to this role. Now onto some new sections to do with the grid. What you're looking at here are some Nazca line overlays. New sections added to the map here on the outside of the 12 by 12 grid. These are part of the Nazca mandala. I didn't add them previously as I was unsure of their orientation. This will now extend the grid to around 25 by 20. They may be linked to planetary or other luminary usage, each having 3 halos, the one on the right being connected to part of the grid and the one on the left seeming to have no link at all, as yet. There might be more to this map, guys, you know. I'm going through these Nazca lines and more might start playing a part in what you're seeing in the north there. So there's 2 new sections, this section here and this section here. So they, you know, they could be related to planetary or luminary functions. I have no idea yet. We can only go by the data we're seeing, and this is now going outside the grid we've got. But it shows you there's things outside of there, so that's a good sign. It's a bit bigger than we thought. So 25 by 20 grid, I think, somewhere around there. It may expand beyond that yet, we don't know. As we add more Nazca lines, you know, this will adjust accordingly. There's some more Nazca line overlays. The orientation may not be perfect, but they are close. Note New York having the spider in its vicinity, which appears to connect to a large chamber that connects to Greenland. Triangles appear to mark volcanoes. Various birds are used for different types of signaling or communications, which I've shown on a previous video when using the Mimic map. You can see the locations here confirm those transmissions. Have a good look around there, guys. You can see what's relating to what there. The astronaut seems to be in Russia. What else is on there? Condor. Yeah, any birds type. Yeah, any of the birds that you see in the sky there, they're all to do with transmissions. The monkey also having something to do with transmission. We've seen signals going there from Antarctica. Same with Easter Island and other locations. And also take note of what's going on in the north. There's more geoglyphs up there that we've, you know, not noticed previously. So even more things to add in the north at some point or other. All right, we'll zoom out because there's a bit more to add to this. Here are some of the Palpal Lines. There's not just Nazca lines, there's Palpal Lines also, which is near Nazca. Our northwest portals now become the solar clock. Southwest portals become the Paracas family. More birds are used for communications, and we have a star on or near the location of the southwest portals. Take a good look at that, guys. That's small lines added there, small Nazca lines. And you can see where they start to fit an overlay. So what you're seeing here is a translation of all these Nazca lines onto the world map. And they point out locations where certain things below ground are playing a role in the workings of our world. is how the mechanics of our world are working. These are marking those locations out for us. There's more to see yet, don't worry. Still a lot on there to figure out as well. The tree up in the north there, that looks like something to do with electrical kind of connections to me now. There's another one up there, the albatross with the twisted beak in the northwest. That's another one that's some kind of signaling or communications going on that's sending a signal further in the northwest. So yeah, you're getting different depictions there of what they call in these locations, the Paracas family, which Enoch called the Port Southwest Portals. Right, here's another overlay for you. These more Nazca line overlays showing more of our underworld and how it relates to the human world above. Take note of the locations. One Conscience joined our team a couple of months ago and was brought up to speed with this research and has been working with us, and with the help of Iron FE, Ron, so a big shout at you, sir, who has made the recordings automatic onto our map and grid. One is able to relate what I suspected as earthquakes to be technology coming online and track it happening. I'm now going to pass you over to One so she can show you how we work and how it is all related. Over to you, One.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so I've been working on a world map, and not only has the earthquakes that I began with related, but the work that have moved on to now is also relating greatly, especially with what he just showed you. So let me get my camera turned on. Oops. Okay. That's it. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah, over to you, One.
Are you good?
Okay, so this is the map I've been working with. It's the Mercator map. It's the closest one I could find to FPVs. And what I have done here is I started out by marking what we call the earth chakras. Then I put the grid over it and I put all the angels on. Some of them I did get pinned with blue pins, others are blue marked, but all the blue is representing the angels of the map. Now mine's not as big as his, so I'm missing the two lower corners. Imagine it being extended out a bit more. Then I also added grid, is all of the chakras connected and angels connected. And as I did this, they started to cross other angel points, other power points. I thought that was a pretty cool connection. Seeing his work now, because we are working separately, even though we're presenting together, which I also think is really interesting, and we're still coming up with the same grid. So I added more information. I have the earthquake paths on my map, marked with the lines and the arrows. I've also went and added what we call the power stations. They're power plants that are all over the earth. And I also added, those are the red ones, by the way, and the white dots are the weather stations. I think they help in aiding in storms and stuff, possibly producing. I think they definitely aid in them. So what I'm trying to show with all of this together is how all of this energy from below, and they're tapping into it, and they're causing events to happen in our world. So now, let's move in a little bit closer. We can look at a couple of areas that I wanted to show you guys. So first of all, we all know about CERN. So this area right here was really interesting to me. And if you just remember what FPV just showed you, this is where CERN is located. So see how many power stations, and there's red dots that I don't even have marked, but every single red dot, pinned or not, is a power station. See how the arms kind of draw out? Sorry, they draw out from the center. Well, the center there is about where CERN is located. It's between France and, oh, I can't see it. It's covered in pins. Yes, thank you. The map you just showed, FPV, there was definite energy up there towards the north. So all these different things are connecting. We go over here to the United States. Up here we have HARP. See it up in Alaska. It's 2 weather stations right on top of it. And there's a whole trail of them that seem to lead down. Well, during that area, we have a lot of armada storms. We have a lot of odd tornadoes and weird skies that happen. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So when we move down to South America, and you were just showing on your map how the technology over there, and see how it pushes into the Angels, and then the volcanoes are right after that. That's a sign that the energy is pushing that land up. South America is about 2,000 feet above sea level, so off from the continent down into the ocean. The map itself is quite confusing. Answer some questions regarding it. I'm still learning it myself and trying to put it all together. See, we'll go over here to where the New Zealand area is and see how the volcanoes and follow exactly along our quake path. Then there's always the power stations. So I'm still trying to put all of it together. I thought I actually had it all figured out. Then I joined this team and, well, I don't. So I have a lot of questions also. That's about it. I also have marked on here pretty far, but let's go right here. I have purple ones marked. They're very small. What those are going to represent is crystal caves, which is actually some new information to me. And I knew this information, but I guess seeing in a new perspective made it a little different. We have these crystal caves that are all over our world, and crystals produce a very great amount of energy, frequency. They all have their different frequencies, so each would give off a different vibration. Now in this area right here that I keep pointing at is actually the largest crystal cave in the entire world. There are crystals inside that cave, and you can look it up, that are way bigger than any people. I can't even really describe how large they are. You'd really have to go look at it. And that's one of our major spots here. This huge pressure comes straight down from the corners, blurring out.
You broke up a bit there, one.
Yeah.
Your screen's kind of froze on me.
Okay, are we back now? Can you see me?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, that's the largest crystal cave that we have. And other ones that we have that I found as to very interesting places are, and let me show you, we have them in Mexico, Bermuda, Oregon, the Bahamas, Australia, Scotland, California, Turkey, Iceland, and Ohio, which I don't know how many people actually know that. I didn't. So I found those pretty interesting spots, that these are the the power points, and maybe they're kind of matching up at least with two known vortexes that I can think of, the Oregon vortex and the Bermuda Triangle. So looking at the overall map, I'm just going to kind of sum it up. If you look at my crazy mess of green lines, they tend to go off in the same direction. It really reminded me of the star Nazca line that FPV had shown. Will have to be taken into account that my little points might not be exact, but the overall is really starting to line up and correlate everything he's saying as what's going on underneath, how they're harnessing it and using it, and how it's affecting our world. So that's really all I have.
No, it's
right
not
now.
Ron. We've got these things from Ron, remember. I'll put
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll just present.
Forgot.
Yeah, don't worry. I
Yeah.
thought you would. I'll just present one for you. I'll tell them what it is first. Right. There you go, guys. This is the map Ron FE Ron. So a big shout out to Ron again. This is the map Ron's made for one. Well, for always really, but one's recording the earthquake data from this, and what you can do is track it. And you'll notice over time certain things switching on and off, which, you know, I've been saying all along. What's happening here is 4 times a year your equinoxes and solstices, and many things in between as well by the look of it. The switching going on, and this is what's rerouting the sun and moon on its new paths. So that's what's creating the seasons. There's a lot going on in this, you know, in these images when you're going to see the animation. So this is just a static image, because when I made a video of them recorded for one to show, it's lowered the quality a bit. So I thought you'd show you the higher quality image first, so you can see exactly what it looks like. But I'll play the animation now, and I'll just leave it looping, and I'll let you talk over it, and just tell me when you want to switch it off. Hold on, I'll just share.
Okay. Okay, so great work, by the way, Ron. I mean, this is awesome that he took the things that I was just dotting onto the maps, and he animated it and made it have direction, because he just put the arrows in the direction, I believe, that the pressure is going. So you can watch here how it activates up in Alaska. I always like to start there because it affects me and where I live directly, so I can actually see the effects. So the pressure comes in. You can see how it kind of goes down towards the Hawaii area, and I have the arrows on my map showing this. It rolls across our United States, it rolls down the South America, it rolls out into the center, and it heads up north from that area. And you can see, I love the way he's got it. You can see it moving up there. It starts and it goes right on up. Then it kind of comes around to the north. Whoops, we lost it. Okay. So, and then it goes up to the north, and where it goes from there, well, we just don't know just yet because we don't have the data up there. Then you can see that it also is being made from the southwest towards the New Zealand area, and it follows that path up that way, heading towards the center, and it heads up north that way. It also does this little loop-de-loop around these islands here. I think it goes up to that other corner and somehow kind of comes back down and goes across Russia area, but that's, of course, speculation. I don't get the data to prove it, but it seems to kind of do a little loop-de around these corners. And that's about, I mean, we watch that, you know, we're watching these swarms happen in the different corners, and it's bringing in, like he said, it's bringing in the winds, it's bringing in seasons. A good example was that we had a 7.2 right down by Mexico a few days ago, and where I sit, which is just northeast east, slightly northeast from where that quake hit. We were sitting at -2 degrees the day it hit, and the very next day, our weather rose up to 57 degrees, and we had pretty strong winds coming in, bringing in this very warm air. And then as the pressure moved away, we, the very next day, dropped back down to 22 degrees and had an ice storm. And it was very interesting to watch it because it brought in the southern warmth that's going on right now for just that moment while the energy passed through our area. But that's about all I have to say. So I'll let someone else take over.
That's fantastic one. Lovely presentation. Well done. Very nice.
Yeah,
A little bit of information here on this map we're looking at, guys. This is current information over the last 5 days that Ron's accumulated, just for this presentation, basically. But you know, it's carrying on live all the time, and it's recording every week now. He's also now got the ability to go back in time and start retrieving the information from, you know, any point in time, basically, that's been recorded. So at the end of that animation, you'll notice the date changed to 2017. That was the March equinox. So you've seen some data there at the end, 3 days before the equinox and 2 days after. So you can see what's going on during that equinox last March. Yeah, very, very nice work there, Ron. Good job, mate.
Yeah, big shout out to Ron. It is amazing because, like I said, mine is dots on a map and I can show it as a slideshow, but he's actually animating the daily quakes and we can see how it progresses, where, you know, which ones are first and stuff like that, that I don't really have time to do all that. So, but yeah, his data is great. Do you want to see 6 weeks worth of quakes though? Do you want to see how that progresses real fast?
Let's have a look at it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So let me get my camera back on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Iron Sky Earth, Ron. We thank you for that.
Okay. So this is 6 weeks. So each slide is a week, and we can watch it move. We can see where it swarmed, and this is starting at the beginning of December up to the current week. I finished up on Thursday. And I did switch to the different map, which I want to get moved over to the same map so we have it all on one map. But yeah, it follows the past and it matches up with all that busyness that you had going on that you were showing too, FPV.
Yeah, it's nice that.
But yeah, that's 6 weeks, and just remember the blue are the shallower, and then it goes to yellow, then orange, then red, and then purple as far as depths go.
That's a lot of work there, guys, by the way. That's one's been recording that by hand and plotting it daily. So yeah, a lot of work gone into that. So yet again, big shout out to Ron for saving one a lot of time, which she can now divert into the upper world.
Exactly.
Which, hey, you're doing a fantastic job as well. It's really nice, that map.
It's a team effort. It's a group effort to put this together. It's a lot of stuff to add together and try to figure out what's going on. So
we do need more people involved, that's for sure. You know, we've got sun, moon, luminaries, all kinds of things to look at yet and factor into this.